بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. In Dua al-Nudba, which is an incredible devotional literature, there's almost nothing like it in our collections of supplications. In this beautiful text, we address the Imam of our time as such. We say, أين قاطع حبائل الكذب والافتراء? Where is the one who is going to sever the nets or the ropes of lies and deceptions? We know that increasingly today, people are becoming very much aware of the deception that takes place at all levels. Governments lie through their teeth. Politicians are caricatures of lying and being conniving deceivers. Presidents, prime ministers, ministers, you name it, are known for lying. People recognize that. The media lies all the time in the most brazen manner. And again, people are having a greater level of awareness now of the media narratives. They call it corporate media, or they call it state-owned media, or whatever it might be. Most platforms, whether it be traditional media, corporate-owned, state-owned, or social media, are used for lying, right? We need to recognize that, and thankfully a lot of people have come to that realization. But we also need to be mindful of the fact that these lies, sometimes they have to do with election promises that are left unfulfilled, or they have to do with everyday lives. Sometimes these lies are so entrenched and are so deceptive and are so dangerous that they become tools not just to manipulate the masses, but to entrap them in a net of lies. That's why we say, حَبَائِلُ الْكِذْبِ وَالْإِفْتِرَاءِ. The awaited Savior is the one who completely disentangles the nets of lies. In other words, it's not just one lie here or a lie there, but it's a whole complex web of lies that are used to entrap people, that are used to hunt people and take away their most sacred possession, their faith in God, their belief in divine values. And so the Imam will disentangle all of this. The Imam will sever all of these ropes, all of these nets will be completely destroyed. However, until that happens, we need to be mindful that we ourselves could be subject to this. That's why it's called manipulation. That's why it's called lies. That's why we have people nowadays who present themselves as some kind of predecessor to the 12th Imam. There are people like that in Iraq. There are people like that in as far away as London. There are people like that in India. There are people all over the world who claim to be harbingers of the awaited Savior. These are people who need to be exposed as the liars that they are, so that individual Shia and people who don't know any better and people whose spiritual immune system isn't strong enough don't fall for their lies and deceptions. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.